Serving all of San Diego, this is your Fox 5 News.
Okay, so the FDA recently issued its strongest warning ever against the use of a drug that claims to prevent preterm labor. Dr. Sean Danishman, as I call him Dr. D, founder of Miracle Babies, is here once again to talk about the more serious health implications of all of this. Now, this drug, I've never heard of this terbutaline, but tell me what it is and what it claims to do.
Well, terbutaline has been on the market since 1976, and we use it for acute tocolysis, which is a woman comes into preterm labor. We've got several medications. I've got, Raul, some of them here, the most common ones that we use. Terbutaline sulfate is this medication. I don't know if the camera can zoom in on it. We've got nifedipine, which is a calcium channel blocker for hypertension. We've got indomethacin, which is an anti-inflammatory, and magnesium sulfate. All these medications are used for acute tocolysis. So someone comes into preterm labor. We know that patients that come in between 24 to 34 weeks of gestation can benefit from steroids. So steroids are given to the mom. It helps mature the baby's lungs, and these medications are used. So terbutaline sulfate, subcutaneously given to women acutely for the first 48 hours to 72 hours, helps prevent prolonged gestation until the effects of the steroids are given. Okay,
so what specifically is now the problem in warranting this FDA, the strongest warning ever for this drug? Why?
Well, since the time that it came into the market, previously marketed as Brethine, there have been 16 cases of maternal deaths reported, and over the past 10 years, 12 significant cardiovascular complications such as tachycardia, myocardial infarction or heart attack, pulmonary edema, which is fluid built up in the lungs. So the FDA now is warning against its use for prevention and prolonged use. So it still can be used as an acute tocolytic agent, but not for prevention and prolonged use anymore. And the oral tablets for neither. Because not much of a benefit has been proven with this.
Let's talk about some of the other options, because another option here is it's an FDA-approved drug. It's called Makena. Now, what is the Makena? What's the difference between that drug and the other one?
So these medications are used for treatment. Okay, so someone comes into labor, give a medication to stop the contractions. Makena is basically previously known as 17P or hydroxyprogesterone caparate. It's an intramuscular injection that's given once a week starting at 16 to 18 weeks in gestation with one baby with a previous history of preterm birth. So a woman comes in and says, I delivered my baby.
Several factors involved there.
Yes. So I delivered my baby last, 2 years ago at 28 weeks of gestation. I went into labor, started having contractions and delivered. That's a patient that's a good candidate for Makena.
Okay, let's talk. I didn't even know that this was a nitrous oxide, laughing gas. You're used to hearing about laughing gas in the dentist's office, but now they're using it instead of an epidural. Is this a thing? Is this new? Or
well, there's some reports
I just never heard of it.
Well, it's it's used actually commonly in the United Kingdom and Canada and in Finland. There are several medications, obviously, that are used during labor. One is an epidural, which is one of the most common ones. There is fentanyl. There's obviously all the opioids. There is even TENS units, transcutaneous electrical nerve stimulation that's used as well. And there's laughing gas. So the laughing gas doesn't necessarily take away the pain, but you may not really care that you're having
relax you a little bit, but it's safe to use instead of an epidural?
It's safe to use, and it's something definitely to talk about with your anesthesiologist. There are 2 hospitals that are carrying it in the United States now, and we may see more of it in the future.
Okay, we'll see. More in the future, perhaps. Okay, by the way, Dr. D over here, Miracle Babies. Here's the phone number, 1-888-68-MIRACLE, 501 West Broadway, Suite 510 here in San Diego. Dr. D, we thank you for your time. As always, more information, fox5sandiego.com. Erica?
It's always a pleasure.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.